Hi, my name is Tia Jermar, and I am one of the librarians at Butte College. And so these next series of videos is going to go over some research tips and tricks for how to use the library databases. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to be showing you tips for better research. Learn how to research databases to find original scientific research, how to perform research effectively using advanced research skills, and also how to cite sources in AMA format. So when we talk about scientific research, we also use the term scholarly journals. You might also hear academic articles or academic journals, or also peer-reviewed articles. All of those terms are kind of used interchangeably. So scientific research that you find in scholarly journals are articles that are written by scholars, researchers, experts, specialists in their fields, and often they will have their credentials or their affiliation provided somewhere in the article. The journals are published by recognized societies or professional associations. They're meant for an academic or professional audience. Their sources are cited, and the topics that you'll find in these types of articles are very focused and in-depth, and they use a lot of jargon of the discipline. And they can also go through what's called a peer-reviewed process where research is double-checked, citations are double-checked, how they perform their experiment, if they're doing some sort of experiment. All of that is double-checked through a peer review process, through a committee of experts in the field, and they give it this peer review. It's sort of like a stamp of approval, and it's sort of the top level of credibility for these scientific research articles. And you can find these scientific articles in our databases. So the databases are digital versions of print publications, and we pay for access to these databases. These are not things that you'll be able to find through a general Google search. You may be able to find some things through Google Scholar if you're familiar with that. But typically these things are found behind a paywall. And so the library pays for subscriptions to these databases. And the databases can cover a wide range of topics, or they can be very specific. We might have a database that just catalogs medical journals, for instance. You can access these databases through the Butte College Library, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. To get to the databases, you're going to navigate to the library homepage, and you can do that by going through butte.edu. You can scroll down to the very bottom, and there is a link that you can click. Or you can use your address and you just type in butte.edu/library. And this will take you to the library homepage. So you will be navigating to the Research tab to find the databases. So you're going to go to Research, and you're going to scroll down to Search Databases A to Z. And these are the databases that we subscribe to. If you are not sure which database to use, you can filter this list here. So these are around about 50 databases here, and that can be kind of overwhelming for students. If you don't know which database to use, having a huge list like this is not always the most comforting. So you can narrow down the databases by content, and you use this drop-down menu here to do that. If you know that you specifically need to find those peer-reviewed articles, which is what you are required to find for your assignment, you would scroll down to that and click on the Peer-Reviewed Articles tab. And this limits the databases where you can find those peer-reviewed articles. Another thing that you can do is we have created a research guide for you. If you haven't already looked at the research guide, you can find that by, again, going to the library homepage, going to that Research tab, looking at the Research Guides section, going to Foods and Nutrition, and finding your research guide here. And in this research guide, we have a tab here, Finding Articles in Library Databases. And there's some suggested databases here for you to use: ProQuest, EBSCOhost, and then the Health and Wellness database. I want to give you an idea of the components that you'll find on the research databases. And this is the database ProQuest, and this is what you'll see when you get to the search screen. And all the databases pretty much look the same. All the components are the same. So once you become familiar with one database, it should be easy for you to transition between databases because all of the components that you'll find will be the same. So for instance, you'll have these search boxes here, which is where you're going to put your keywords about your topic. You'll have a drop-down menu, and these drop-down menus are used where you tell the database where to search in the article for those keywords. And then it'll give you some filters to use. So for instance, full text and peer reviewed. And so I'm going to demo this database in just a little bit to show you how to use all of these different features of the databases. And so using the databases can be a little tricky. It's not quite as easy as using Google. So there are a couple things that you need to be aware of when you're entering in the keywords for your topic. And the first thing to remember is that you're not going to write a full question into the search box. You are only going to use the main keywords and phrases for your topic. For example, college and stress. If your topic is on what causes stress for college students. You're not going to type in what causes stress in college students. You're just going to type in college and stress. And the difficult part about using the databases is that, remember, these are databases full of peer-reviewed articles. So what me and you use in our natural language may not be what an expert uses in their published scientific research. So you need to allow for some trial and error. And you always want to be looking for better keywords to use. So we may start out with using the term heart disease, but we may find that the articles are actually using the term cardiovascular disease. And then lastly, one of the things that I think trips students up the most when doing searching in the databases is not putting quotation marks around phrases. For example, gluten-free. If you don't do this, what happens is the database assumes that you are looking for the term gluten or looking for the term free, but not necessarily gluten-free. So you'll get a lot of results with articles that talk about free and a lot of results that may talk about gluten, but not necessarily gluten-free. So it's always important to remember to use those quotation marks around phrases. We can also use the search fields in the databases. So remember, the databases have those drop-down menus where you can tell the database where in the article you want to search for the keywords that we put in the keyword box. So this is handy because you can tell the database that if you want to search everywhere in the article, or you can tell the database that you just want to search in the abstract of the article. And each article provides you with an abstract, which is the summary of the article. So chances are, if my keywords that I put in the search box are found in the abstract of the article, it will probably be more relevant to my topic than if the keywords were found anywhere within the article. So I typically start with an abstract search, and then if I need to find more results, I might change my search to open it up to an alt text or anywhere search. So there's a little bit again of trial and error here when using the search fields. You'll also be able to set limits using filters that the database will provide you with a filter toolbar, and that's usually on either the left or the right-hand side. And you'll be able to limit by date, full text, type of source, and subjects. So please watch the next video where we'll put some of these tips and techniques to good use, and I will demo some of the databases. Thank you.